as far back as I can remember, I've been a reader.
East of nowhere, north of the blues.
To me, being a reader provided one of the few means of escape from the daily monotony of island life. Even before I understood the difference between reality and imagination, I knew I wanted to be part of different stories. Among characters in faraway settings, it was there that I knew that I belonged.
East of nowhere, zero latitude, the street of unhappiness suits my attitude.
To me, it meant access to different types of people, instead of an island that was full of carbon copies.
I have no one, I have no one.
Some of those characters weren't like anyone else. Some were wizards or kid detectives. Some lived in places I'd never heard of, like Sweet Valley and Stony Brook. Enid Blyton. Enid. Enid was a British author, and I remember receiving her books as Christmas and birthday gifts. I despised Enid. Her stories were condescendingly simplistic, and the children in her books behaved and spoke in a manner that came off as pretentious instead of precocious. And Enid was racist. That her books were ubiquitous throughout former British colonies was one of the insidious ways that colonial ideology imprinted itself on young minds in the decades after independence. Even though Enid's books were written for children, as a 7-year-old, I remember feeling like my intelligence was being insulted. Still, there was one good thing about her books. The smell. Those books smelled like a Parisian cafe in a Godard film. After a light spring rain, where jazz music plays softly in the background. To this day, I've never smelled a combination of ink and paper that can make me remember a time and place that I've never been. The smell alone made those books worth their hardcover price. On to primary school, where I began my formal education.
In the stillness of the hour, let your mind be free to think of the future and the dreams you hope will be.
No longer was I able to read just for the sheer joy of it. No. Reading became weighted down by grades, expectations, and even my future. Now, don't get me wrong, I still loved books. It's just the baggage of academic requirements and standardized testing took away from some of their innate appeal. The summer after graduate school. Armed with a fine arts degree,
It's a fine time.
an abundance of cynicism,
It's a fine time.
and no job prospects.
It's a fine time to do what you want. It's a fine time. Fine time.
I figured I'd get around to reading all of the non-academic books that I'd acquired through random purchases over the years. I remember picking up Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye and inhaling it, just to see if those old feelings of nostalgia would come flooding back. The feeling of paper beneath my fingertips, that faint whiff of ink, and the prestige of Morrison were enough for me to begin.
From time to time, it all comes around, and no one knows the end. We're all building bridges slowly, tearing them down fast to start over. We're all trying to come over memories of the past and start over. The past can start over. Start over.
That journey through Lorain, Ohio, with Piccola and the Breedlove family reminded me how books enable us to transcend our own lived experiences. I knew I had to savor this renewed freedom of being able to read on my own terms. And since that summer, I gluttonously indulge in books. Which is how I ended up in this corner of the internet. BookTube, they call it. An exciting place where people talk about books they want to read, books they're going to read, books they're reading, and books they've read. I finally found my island and my people. For a long time, I participated as a silent observer. Well, I'm not one to crash a party. Then the year 2020 hit, and the world came crashing down all around us. Figured might as well join this dance floor before it's too late. So here I am making this introduction. What fun and unique things am I bringing to this shindig, you ask? Voiceover. Yeah, that's about it. I can't promise my videos will be consistent. Hell, I can't even promise they'll be entertaining. But since we have about 5 more years left of 2020, I'll give this BookTube thing a go. So, welcome. I'm Sass. Stop by the comments and introduce yourself. Hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. Now, if you'll excuse me,